Good Friday, everyone, and welcome into today's daily Bible reading for December the 2nd. Today we are reading together from Proverbs 15. Proverbs 15 is on the schedule for today. Appreciate you so much for tuning in for our reading. Let me go ahead and get the text up on the screen. We'll read all 33 Proverbs together, and then I will give you my top three for today. Proverbs 15, beginning in verse number 1. Proverbs 15, verse number 1, a gentle answer turns away anger, but a harsh word stirs up wrath. The tongue of the wise makes knowledge attractive, but the mouth of fools blurts out foolishness. The eyes of the Lord are everywhere, observing the wicked and the good. The tongue that heals is a tree of life, but a devious tongue breaks the spirit. A fool despises his father's discipline, but a person who accepts correction is sensible. The house of the righteous has great wealth, but trouble accompanies the income of the wicked. The lips of the wise broadcast knowledge, but not so the heart of fools. The sacrifice of the wicked is detestable to the Lord, but the prayer of the upright is his delight. The Lord detests the way of the wicked, but he loves the one who pursues righteousness. Discipline is harsh for the one who leaves the path. The one who hates correction will die. Sheol and Abaddon lie open before the Lord. How much more human hearts? A mocker doesn't love one who corrects him. He will not consult the wise. A joyful heart makes a face cheerful, but a sad heart produces a broken spirit. A discerning mind seeks knowledge, but the mouth of fools feeds on foolishness. All the days of the oppressed are miserable, but a cheerful heart has a continual feast. Better a little with the fear of the Lord than great treasure with turmoil. Better a meal of vegetables where there is love than a fattened ox with hatred. A hot-tempered person stirs up conflict, but one slow to anger calms strife. A slacker's way is like a thorny hedge, but the path of the upright is a highway. A wise son brings joy to his father, but a foolish man despises his mother. Foolishness brings joy to the one without sense, but a person with understanding walks a straight path. Plans fail when there is no counsel, but with many advisers they succeed. A person takes joy in giving an answer, and a timely word, how good that is. For the prudent, the path of life leads upward, so that he may avoid going down to Sheol. The Lord tears apart the house of the proud, but he protects the widow's territory. The Lord detests the plan of the one who is evil, but pleasant words are pure. The one who profits dishonestly troubles his household, but the one who hates bribes will live. The mind of the righteous person thinks before answering, but the mouth of the wicked blurts out evil things. The Lord is far from the wicked, but he hears the prayer of the righteous. Bright eyes cheer the heart. Good news strengthens the bones. One who listens to life-giving rebukes will be at home among the wise. Anyone who ignores discipline despises himself, but whoever listens to correction acquires good sense. And finally, verse number 33, the fear of the Lord is what wisdom teaches, and humility comes before honor. And that is Proverbs 15. My top three for today is going to begin in verse number 1. Verse number 1. Verse number 1, a gentle answer turns away anger, but a harsh word stirs up wrath. And this is something that I've highlighted a number of times as we've seen verses similar to this. But this is just, I have a hard time thinking of something that is more valuable in the climate in which we live today, where people are seem to be so high strung, and where conversations can so quickly just become shouting matches. And a lot of it, I think, comes down to people don't know how to be agreeable while disagreeing. And what I mean by that is they don't know how to be calm and collected and just courteous when disagreeing. You don't have to always agree with people, and we're not always going to agree with people, but there's a way in which we can speak that disagreement without being disagreeable and without completely shutting down the situation. A gentle answer turns away anger. A gentle answer turns away anger. Whenever we have conversations with people, whenever we have disagreements, whenever we're engaged in discourse and debate, simply espousing our point of view or the point we're trying to make in a gentle way, well, that invites people to really consider what we're saying so that we might have a profitable discussion. But if what we're doing only is being harsh in the way we speak, we're being demeaning in our word choice, we're being condescending, our tone is hateful and argumentative, that's not going to help anything. Going back to also, let's see here, verse number 18, a hot-tempered person stirs up conflict, but one slow to anger calms strife. That, I think, it goes along very well with what we have here in verse 1 2, that if we are hot-tempered, if we are harsh in the way we speak, then yeah, we're never going to be very effective in having discourse and debate and conversation. But if we're somebody who is slow to anger, if we have gentle answers in these conversations, especially in heated conversations, in what might be termed a crucial conversation where there is something on the line, where there is debate that's being discussed, if we could be gentle, if we could be slow to anger, then we have a much better chance of being effective in those conversations. So I mean, just encourage that to be something that we really think about. How do we handle difficult conversations? How do we handle the crucial conversations? Are we gentle and slow to anger, or are we harsh and hot-tempered? I want to suggest to you very clearly, very strongly, that only one of those approaches is going to lead to a positive result in those conversations. So keep that in mind. A gentle answer turns away anger, but a harsh word stirs up wrath. My number 2 for today is verse number 3. The eyes of the Lord are everywhere, observing the wicked and the good. And this is just good wisdom to recognize, and good understanding to have, realizing that when we have these opportunities to apply wisdom, when we have those opportunities, we need to do that. We need to make sure that we are applying wisdom well. Why? Not just so that we can be benefited and enjoy the blessing that comes from God by applying wisdom, but recognizing that the Lord is seeing everything. Whether we are in public, whether we are in private, our actions are naked and open before the Lord. He sees them all. And he expects us to not just be wise in public, where other people might see us, but he also expects us to be wise in private as well. So keep that in mind as we are going throughout life, that whatever we do, the Lord sees. He knows it all, and he's going to hold all of those things to account. And wisdom recognizes that this is the reality. And then lastly for today, I want to go all the way to the end now, all the way to verse 33, which is a good reminder as we're working our way through this text, and reminding ourselves again of chapter 1 and verse number 7, which speaks of the fear of the Lord being the beginning of understanding, being the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and discipline. But looking here in chapter 15 and verse 33, the fear of the Lord is what wisdom teaches, and humility comes before honor. So the fear of the Lord is what wisdom teaches, and humility comes before honor. So hold on, which is it? Does the fear of the Lord lead to knowledge, or does the fear of the Lord lead to wisdom? Yes. It's kind of a both ways type of thing. If we are wise, we will fear the Lord and be led into further wisdom. If we fear the Lord, guess what? That's going to lead us to wisdom. And yet we recognize that we're not going to benefit from that until we really embrace that humility. I think humility in every respect is just such a crucial part of our character as Christians, our character of God-fearing people. We have to recognize that we are nothing. We have to recognize that God is God, he is creator, and he has a natural right over us. He has a natural superiority to us. And whenever we're willing to humble ourselves to recognize that position, not whenever we are are willing to humble ourselves to that position, that's a position that we're in. We're just there, and there's nothing we can do about that. But whenever we are willing to humble ourselves to recognize that reality and to respond to that reality appropriately by seeking the Lord, by fearing him, having a real healthy fear of God and reverence. The idea here is fear, yes, but also reverence and respect for God, recognizing that he has the answers, that he has the wisdom. Then we will seek those things, and it will lead us to greater wisdom. It will lead us to honor as well. So my top three for today, verse number 1 here, a gentle answer turns away anger, and a harsh word stirs up wrath. Number 2 is verse number 3. The eyes of the Lord are everywhere, observing the wicked and the good. And my number 3 for today is verse number 33. The fear of the Lord is what wisdom teaches, and humility comes before honor. Hope these proverbs are a blessing to you. Not only my top 3, but maybe there's one that stands out to you as something that means a lot to you. Maybe you've seen it being true in your life. Please feel free to leave that in the comment section, either on Facebook or YouTube, and love to have a conversation about those things if you would like. But thanks so much for tuning in to this reading today. Hope that you have a great rest of your Friday. We'll be back at it again in the morning as we read together from Proverbs 16. Take care and God bless.